When I got back to Berlin, I wrote my report. I write it over and over again every night in my memory. People ask me, did you not see the trains? Did you not see the ovens? No. The smoke, the ash, everything that people say was there, I saw none of it. Sometimes I think I could have asked Godfrey directly, looked him in the eye, or I could have asked that little girl playing with her doll in the river. She must have known. That river was where they dumped the ashes. They didn't bury any of them. But who knew any of that then? Now, it's easy to see me as a fool, but I'm no different from anyone else, except that I was there on the way to heaven. The woods overrun everything today, but I could recognize it. Beyond the shadow of a doubt, it was here. This is where the railway line was. This is where the trains came punctually at 6 in the morning. The trains always arrived at 6 in the morning. It was here. I could feel it beneath my feet. This was the way to heaven. This is where the wagon doors opened to disgorge their passengers into the dazzle of lights and the barking of dogs, herding them up the only path there was, a concrete ramp rising up toward a sort of hangar. Every night I walk up it. Every night I dream that I'm walking up that ramp toward the door. I open the door and there they are, smiling, waiting for me, Godfrey and the others. Every night I write my report in my memory. Hygienic conditions are satisfactory. The people are dressed well, taking into account the normal differences of social status and background. Accommodations are modest but of reasonable standard. Food appears sufficient. Now let's not overestimate what I could have done. I was charged to write a report and put my name to it. Even if I'd written something different, what would have changed? How could I have written anything other than what I did? My mission was to look and see!
Balloon seller. Boys with spinning top. Child with a door. A girl, I thought a boy,
Because of her voice. She has a lovely voice.
Couple on the blanket. She's too pretty, too pretty. Good. 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 You've done very well. You've done very well. Very well. Good. The only thing that still worries me is the scene in the square. I wonder if we shouldn't scale it down.
Less people. One in suddenly, everyone should be there.
Yeah, but in this particular scene, what matters is how can I put it? Is this community spirit. We'll have to coordinate gestures, looks, attitudes. Some of the men will be there too. So how do we deal with the mutual distrust? No. It won't be easy for you or for us. Bear in mind that this is new for us too. But it is for me. At the end of the day, I'm a military man. I'm a soldier. Are you listening to me, Patrick? What are you looking at?
Let's rock.
Senor Mayorga, thank you so much for writing this very beautiful play and for coming to New York. What inspired you to write this very moving play?
Thank you for the question, for the comment. Some years ago, I heard, by hearing a lecture, I heard the story that a Red Cross man representant had been in Theresienstadt and for a short time even in Auschwitz. And he had been in Theresienstadt. He had written a report that has been positive for the Nazi interests. And I can perfectly remember that I heard that, and I had two impressions. I thought, this man has something to do with people around me, and maybe with me. He has something to do with me because I try to help, but maybe sometimes I negotiate with the torturators or with evil people or with evil things. I think this man has something to do with me. And the second impression I had was I must write a play, because the theater is the most direct and most diverse way I know to share my story and even my hope and to express my hope but through my story. I think that in Himmelweg there is not just there is not only sorry. There is a hope also because there are some characters that decide don't obey, even though they have a very short chance against the giant.
One thing that was very evocative for me that he said about that point early on in our work together was that he began writing to try to understand how that man could sleep, and I found that very interesting.